I want to follow on from my last video that I did about the sacred union and looking for love. And in this video, I want to talk about sex particularly, but I want to talk about it in a spiritual context because I feel that I kind of touched on it, but I want to go a little bit deeper. And I want to just remind our hearts that the sexual act, although physical, is a deep spiritual connection, a coming together of two souls, not just two bodies, to express something so beautiful. And I just want to really encourage our hearts so that we kind of can put this into our inner she. And when we move into relationships or new relationships, we can kind of be mindful about where we need to be coming from. If we're coming from a place of the feminine and growing a sense of that inner she, and we're expressing it on the outside. So remember what I said in my last video about everything happens on the inside where we can't see it. So in our inner she, that's where we're strong, that's where our boundaries are formed, that's where our values are formed, that's where we hold this high sense of honour for ourselves and other people. And all of these things are very, very authentic and real. And I just want to kind of move that forward, that idea and that thinking, into this sexual arena of our sexuality and how we express that. Because all too often we find ourselves in situations where we are wanting to have a sexual encounter with someone. I'm talking about consensual sex now, between two adults, and not any other kind of sexual experience. We find ourselves wanting to have our body's natural desire is to get down and do it. But I just want to say that actually the seed of that needs to be right from within our hearts. And when we are on this journey and we're looking to really think through about how every part of our life and every aspect of our life is kind of framed within the idea of birthing the feminine and walking in the feminine in a real way, we need to address this in the way in which we do things with our bodies. And of course, sex is a huge aspect of this. And I just want to talk about the sacred sexual union in a spiritual context, because what's happening is, or what should be happening is, that when we come together completely vulnerable with our bodies with another person, that we should be joining our sense of divine purpose and our soul together with that person. And it just strikes me that if that person isn't quite on the same page as us with this heart-connected understanding, then really we'll have some issues in the way in which this scenario plays out, or this relationship with this person then plays out. Because what's happening is we start to base that experience and that relationship at whatever level it operates on a sexual footing and not a heart-connected footing. Can you see what I'm trying to say? So we really need to be very, very careful in the way in which we think these things through before we get ourselves into a situation where some of our inner she and our boundaries and our values could be compromised. So what I want to kind of say to us girls is, it's very, very easy for us to be swayed to compromise our boundaries, especially in this area, because our body longs to have the validation of being loved and touched and held and all of those things. And all of those things are beautiful and right and good and lovely, but at the same time we need to build in a safeguard in our inner she, not to repress us and not to squash us down, but actually to raise us up in the right way. So my challenge is that we would really think about heart connection first. Heart connection first with this person. Is this person that I'm desiring in a sexual context good for my soul? Is this person going to support me in my calling that the universe has given me? Is this person going to support my divine purpose? Is this person going to even support me as a person, actually? Are they going to respect where I'm at in all of me when I begin to share my heart? So I'm going to start to share my heart. If I can share my body, I need to be able to share my heart too. And so I'm going to start talking to that person about some of the deep things that I hold in my heart. Can they hear that? Can they hear that? Can I even begin to broach that subject, those subjects with them? Are they able to stand in that place and hear where my heart is at? Or do I squash it down because I have this innate feeling that they will ridicule me, humiliate me, and just not take me seriously on it? Because we need to answer these questions, and we need to really understand and know a person so well that these things about us will be accepted and acknowledged before we get to the place where we give to them our bodies as women. So remember that in the sexual act between a man and a woman, that the woman receives, okay, and the man pushes. This is how it's going to be, isn't it? The man penetrates in and the woman receives. The woman opens up. And so when we are sexual with a man, we are receiving all that he has to give. So the question has to be, on a spiritual level, do we want everything that he has to give, or do we want just his sex? Do you see? Because unless we want everything he has to give, then really we've got a problem if we give him all of us. And this is what we get into in our heads, because we feel now, very often women have this encounter and they feel they've given all of themselves and he's given nothing because he can walk away in a heartbeat. And we're left heartbroken and devastated. And these are the questions that need to be resolved before we get ourselves into this situation with a man particularly, about how much can he kind of understand about where I'm at, and how much is he connected or prepared to connect with my heart. Because if I'm not seeing that he's going to be prepared to connect with my heart, and I don't really want to give him any of my body. It's always about the inner sacred, inner she place first. That is our strong place. That is our sacred place. That is the place where we reside in the feminine. And so when we open ourselves up sexually, we are giving some of that out to bless him and encourage him and welcome him in. And the question has to be, does he deserve a welcome? Does he deserve a welcome? Because if he's not prepared to honour where we're at, or if he's not ready to hear where we're at, or doesn't understand where we're at, or doesn't even want to know where we're at, then we've answered our own question in a spiritual context. And I'm just blown away by the magnificence and the glory and the depth of how this sacred union comes about. And the pinnacle of it, of course, is that between a man and a woman, a new life can come forth from that place of love. And that is just beautiful. Now, of course, not all of us are with a man. Some of us are with a woman, and some of us don't seem to mind. We just make connections with whoever we feel we need to make connections with. And I want to say to you, if that's your heart, all of these same things about heart connection still apply. So let's just think about this in context of, does this person deserve my heart? And that's really all I want to say about this beautiful thing. And I'm going to hand the baton over to you, because this conversation needs to be discussed and developed even more. And I'm just bursting with kind of love for you all. And please come and talk to me on our Heart Maidens page and Facebook page. And I love you so much. And I just want us all to walk in this beautiful place of the feminine more and more. So for now,